Hey bunnies, from the title of this video you'll see that I'm going to finally be doing my review on the It's My Raye Raye BH Cosmetics collab. I've had this palette and brush set since like November when it first came out, and I'm just now getting a chance to do the video. I'm doing a full review using all her brushes. I'm using the shadows, I'm doing the highlighters, which are off my hand right now, and we're going to finish up and create this look that you're seeing right here. All right, so keep on watching and let's jump into the review. Loving hip hop hands. So let us jump into the brushes. In this rose gold looking box, rectangular shaped box, you get 9 brushes in the set. Okay, this is what the brushes look like. They're all super soft, the same rose gold, if I hadn't said that already, but that's it there. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4 face brushes and then 5 eye brushes. So we're gonna finish on my face. I already have foundation and brows and concealer on. I'm doing a pretty light look today. On the back of the box it does tell you what each brush is. So yeah, this is the powder brush right here, and that's what I'm gonna use to powder my face. In there. For powdering, I do prefer a denser brush, a more compact brush, something more along the lines of a kabuki type brush, a flat top brush even. This is way too fluffy for my liking because I feel like it's not applying as much product as I use generally. Now I'm going to move on to contour, and according to the box, the contour brush is number 3. This is the tapered contour brush. That's what that looks like. It is tapered towards the tip. Again, the same rose gold, and this is brush number 3. Now for contour, I'm going to use the contour powder that she has in the kit, which is this one right here, a very deep chocolate. My contour brush that I usually use is a little bit denser. This one is skinnier. It's also bigger, my contour brush. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, this powder is very pigmented, so you have to put a very light amount regardless of how fluffy the brush is, because this brush is very fluffy. So one would think that it would not apply as much product as it does, and maybe it doesn't, but because the contour powder is so pigmented, maybe that's why it's showing up so much. I don't know, I feel like it's just stuck there. It's not like really blending out the way I want it to. Yeah, so with this powder from the kit, you have to have a light hand because it will leave you looking smudgy. It's not doing what I want it to do at all. All right, so let's move on to the nose contour. And for that, I am going to take an eye brush actually. This is number 5, and again, number 5 is a dual blending highlighter blush, right? So for my nose contour, I'm gonna go into, okay, so what I used to contour my face was called Brownie Bite, which again is that one there. So for my nose, I'm going to do Mocha and maybe just a little bit of the Brownie Bite because Mocha is very light and I don't want it to be super dark but at the same time. Feel me? Show me. Okay. Let's start from the top and then work my way down. Like so. Okay. This nose contour is looking way better than my jawline contour was looking, like way better. All right, so before I get into eyes, I want to finish up my face, and I'm gonna do some highlighting. All right, and for that, I'm going to use the brush that she says is a highlight brush, which is number 4. Because literally, you can use any brush that you want to. It just depends on the, I guess, the thickness of the brush. That's going to determine how much product goes on, and this one is pretty like fluffy and it's tapered. These highlighters I absolutely love. The Moonlight, let me see if I can swatch it for you. Moonlight is this gorgeous gold, look at that, gorgeous. Do one more. Gorgeous gold highlight right there. Look at that. Pretty, right? And then you have Radiant, which looks like so. It's more of a bronzy, peachy highlight. And then you have French Toast, which is another fave of mine. So if you are going for a more everyday, out on the town look, then I would definitely go with French Toast, which is that one there. If you want to up it up a little bit, let's say it's a date night, I would go with Radiant. Now, if it's like a girl's night and you want to, you know, go all out, then I would definitely go with Moonlight. Taking my highlighter brush, dipping it onto Radiant, shaking off the excess. If you can see, that's how much product it picked up. I wasn't even like really dipping it on there. I just like, and that's what I got. So I'm going to gently apply it to the high points of my cheeks. Okay, I don't know if I'm a fan of this brush because it's not really doing what I need it to do right now. Let's try that again. Radiant. Nose. Yeah, I thought this brush would pick up a lot. Like, it clearly did pick up a lot of powder, but it just, again, like not doing what I needed to do. Like, can you even see the highlights? You can't see that highlights at all. Let's try this again. Radiant. Okay, there we go. Now we're highlighting, but then I gotta blend that out because it just looks like a patch of glitter on my face. So maybe glitter was the wrong word because it's not like that glittery effect, if that's making any sense. It's just so thick. So yeah, that shit needs to be blended. Be using the cleaner side of the brush to kind of soften that a little bit. So I'm going to go over that with Moonlight because, like I said, it's date night makeup right here, that Radiant. So with the same brush, I'm going to go into Moonlight. And then I am so scared to like really go in with the brush because I just don't want it. Now you can kind of see a highlight, right? I just don't want it to just be this big patch of shimmer on my face. So mixing the Moonlight into the Radiant, this is what we're getting right now, which I think looks a whole of a lot better on camera right now. Like, you can actually see some highlights going on. I was going to use a word there, but I don't know if I would have said it right. So I was like, forget it. So now for eyes, up close and personal, I'm going to be taking her number 6, which is the fluffy blending brush, and of course we're going to go into the creases with this brushy. Now I did notice, and there is a gorgeous black in this palette. Like, hold on, let me come back, let me go over there. See this black? This is the blackest black I have seen in a while, and you guys know I love a black in a palette. Like, this right here is freaking gorge. I love that black. And then, like I was saying, I did notice that there were some, the contour colors are also in the palette here. Like, this one is called Chai, and then in the palette it's up here as Nudist. You have Mocha. Mocha kind of looks like Mousse, which is that one there, right here. I'm horrible at this, I'm sorry. In the palette, in the top section, you have more of the nudie colors here. You have the brighter colors here, and then the shimmery metallics on the bottom row. So we're gonna, of course, go in with a nude color first, and I'm gonna go in with Mousse, which is the third color in the palette. And I'm just taking the blending brush into my crease. Now this blending brush, this feels good. this feels really good. I think I'm gonna be happy with the eye brushes. Mind you, again, this is my first time using the brushes, and I've had this palette and brush set since like, I think November. She had a sale and you got the brushes with the palette at the same time. I think it was like Black Friday or something like that. That's how long I've had it, and I'm doing this video now January 30th. Like, what kind of life am I living? But yeah, so this is mousse in the crease right now, which is very pretty, very soft brown. And this brush is like, it feels so good on my eyelids. Like, it's really getting into the crease and just blending it out very nicely. Now I'm gonna go into one of these middle colors right here, in the second row, and I'm gonna go in with Angel. No, that's not Angel, Spice. I'm sorry. Spice, which is the very first from the left in the palette. Now Spice is, as it sounds, it looks kind of like paprika. And again, I'm going into the crease with this color using the same brush. But I'm not going towards the inner corner. I'm staying like towards the end and the middle of my lid and blending it into the mousse. Close my eye a little bit. I look cool. That is Spice. Spice is really pretty too. Alright, so far, not a fan of the face brushes, right? But these shadows though. And it's funny because the brushes that I'm comparing the face brushes to are from BH Cosmetics. It's the their color, what's it called? Those colorful brushes that come in that black and white box thing, the round box thing. If you know what I'm talking about, comment down below. But that's what I'm comparing her face brushes to. Another BH Cosmetics set. Oh, Spice is pretty. And I always shake off the excess, especially since I already did my face. I don't want any fallouts at all. So I'm gonna go into this color called Midnight that is next to Spice, which is that color there. And I'm gonna go into the outer V using the same brush. Hold on. Let me see if you have another brush. Hold on. Which other brush you have? So we're gonna continue with this brush. Not as chocolatey as Brownie Bites. It's more of that ashy brown. So let's see how that works. And again, it's the color that's directly next to Spice. I'm just taking that right here to the outer part of the eyelid. Oh, that's pretty. So this is number 8. Number 8 is the large shadow brush. Since we already used the top 2 rows, I'm gonna go into the 3rd row naturally, which has the metallic colors right here, which my light is making it look very, yeah, dipping into passion. And even though it's a metallic, I'm still going to try to shake off excess. There is no excess. And make sure I'm not hiding you guys. Dip. Ooh. I feel like, you know how when you wet your brush and then use a powder or whatever the case is and it gives you that look? That's what this is without having to wet your brush, if that makes sense. And again, this one is called Passion. And this is the very last one, or the first one to the right in the palette. You know what you should do? Let me tell you what you should do. She should come out with 2, no, not 2. She should come out with individual shadows, because these shadows are amazing. She should come out with individual individual pans of eyeshadow and sell them, and then have like a combo where you can get X amount of shadows with like a Z palette or something like that, or a Z palette like thing, because I do prefer, well, I've never tried the Z palette, but in my pro freelance anyway kit, I use the MAC palettes, the empty MAC palettes, and that's where I depot my lipsticks and stuff, and I love it. So if she and BH, or she and whoever, hey, maybe even Mac, if she and whoever wants to come up with another collection, because she did do a color pop, which I did do a review on, and I will try to leave it below. Yeah, I feel like she should do individual shadows. That would be so pretty, because this right here is giving me so much life. So number 7, her smudge brush, which looks like so. It is tapered towards the end. It's stiffer, denser, which I was expecting. But I'm used to the more C-shaped smudge brushes, so we'll see how this works. And then while all the brushes, yes, are synthetic, this one feels more, this one and the liner brush that she has, it feels more plasticky than the others. The other ones had a more natural feel. So yeah. So with this brush, I'm gonna go into Spice and go under my lower lash line right here. That did absolutely nothing. So let's go into Midnight. Oh. So taking the same smudge brush, we're gonna give it a little bit more of a chance, and we're gonna go into Passion, the same color we used on the lids, and I'm gonna take that here. I'm telling you, this Passion is really popping. Like, so here is the final look using all, okay, not all, but using the It's by Raye Raye BH Cosmetics collab set. Okay, I used, how many brushes you get? 9. I used 7 out of the 9 brushes. The only 2 brushes, wait, no, they're right here. Okay. The only 2 brushes I did not use are these 2 right here. Number 9, which is the liner brush, which you would usually use in the jar liner, dip it in there, what's it called? The gel liner or cream liner, and apply your wing line. And I didn't use number 2, which is the dual blush and bronzer brush, because I don't usually bronze or blush when I do my makeup, but that's what this would have been for. And again, it's super fluffy. So for that, for a girl like me who doesn't usually do blush or bronzer, I feel like this would be awesome because it doesn't pick up a lot of product, it being so fluffy. So there's one, you know. But then again, the contour brush, it kind of failed me as well. Anyways, so how do I feel about the brushes? Brushes overall were okay. The powder brush, way too fluffy for my liking. It's not dense enough, it's not compact enough, it's just too soft, too fluffy. I wanted to pick up the powder and make it look like I have powder on my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. With the contour brush, I do like the taperedness, but at the same time, again, it's too fluffy. It needs to be denser and thicker and more compact and have an, I prefer my brushes, my contour brush to have an angle like this instead of a taper like that. All right. What was this brush for? Highlights. Okay. I got a better payoff because like I said, I've been using these highlighters like all week. Not even all week, for like over a month now I've been using these highlighters, and I got a better result using my e.l.f. fan brush than this. So not 100% on this either, the highlighter brush. The eyeshadow brushes, however, you only get 4 in there. These 4 are pretty good. Well, let's take out the smudge brush. Smudge brush, wasn't really a fan of either. I prefer a C-shaped smudge brush. This one, it just was, I was afraid it was gonna poke me in the eye while I was doing that. So the smudge brush was a no for me. But these 3 right here, oh, I actually used this to contour my nose, didn't I? Yeah, which was pretty good. So I did like this. This is the dual, what does she call this? The blending and highlighting brush. This one was pretty good. The blending brush itself, which I did use in my crease, and I used it with 3 different colors, it blended really nicely. It felt great on my eye. I actually loved this brush as well as the, well, this is your standard C-shape eyeshadow brush. So this, it did its job, it was good. No complaints here. So these three, I like. The other four, not so much. I feel like they could have spent a little bit more time. I feel like the brushes were like an afterthought. The brushes, she could have spent a little more time with the BH and been like, all right, I want them to look and feel and do certain things. It just fell short. Like I said, I feel like it was a last minute stitch effort to make the collection more than what it was or was supposed to be. I can't explain it. All right, moving on to, where's the palette? Wait, oh, there she is, okay. Moving on to the palette. Oh, wait, here am I, okay. The palette itself, I absolutely love, okay? Again, this is what it looks like, that rose goldy papaya peach looking color. You open it up, the first thing you see are the contour and highlight colors, and then this cover here that just says it's my Raye Raye Cosmetics. You open that side up to reveal the mirror as well as the eyeshadows. On the top you have the nuder colors, the nudes, and that dark, that jet black, which I love. I love a palette that comes with a black. You need to have a black, okay? In the middle, you have the brighter colors, the bolder colors, the pops, the purples, the orange, the brown. Love those. And then on the bottom right here, you have the metallic colors. And I did use, where is she? Right here, Passion on my lid, which you guys saw the video, which I absolutely love. The mirror is a nice size, nice and big. You can see like all of your face really. Well, most of my face. I have a very big face. But yeah. And then you close it with the mirror going down first and then that flapping up. Again, absolutely love this. With the contour powder, I'm blaming what happened here. Know that it's done and I sprayed the spray and all that stuff on there. It looks a little bit better. But when I used it with my other BH Cosmetics, I cannot remember the name, but I'll try to find it and link in the description bar for you. When I used it with that brush, because it comes in a set, that brush, it goes on amazingly and the colors are super pigmented. And then you see how I was raving about the blending brush? Maybe, because I have used, this is my first, no, it's not my first time using the shadows. If we used a different brush, maybe it would have done an even better job, but it did good. Like of all the brushes in there, I loved that blending brush. That blending brush was really good. And then, you know, the eyeshadow brush was your basic C-shaped standard generic eyeshadow brush. But like I said, the brushes, matter of fact, we could have done without the brushes. We didn't need the brushes. Because literally I only liked, what, 3 out of the 9? Like, well, granted I didn't use 2 of them, but still. We could have done without the brushes and just went with the palette right here. The palette by itself, look, matter of fact, she could have done the palette and maybe a couple lip colors, because with her ColourPop collection, she had like 2, I think 1 liquid lipstick, the actual lip liner, and then a lippy stick. And those were amazing colors. I loved it. It's very similar to this actually. I probably should have put that on in this video. But anyways, yeah, I feel like she should have just done the palette and probably some lipsticks if she wanted to put something else with it. The brushes for me were a fail, or spend some more time on the brushes. Like for me, I prefer the kabuki type brushes, the denser, fluffier, not fluffier, but yeah, fuller brushes than what she gave me right there. So that is my review on the BH Cosmetics It's My Raye Raye collab. If you feel like I should have mentioned something that I didn't mention, leave it in the comment section below. If you have a question to ask me, leave it in the comment section below. If there's a question you want to ask that you're too embarrassed to ask in the comments, go ahead. My email is in the description bar. Send me an email and I will respond as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace sign and kissy face. Bye.
Close your eyes, would you dream for me?